Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into something absolutely crucial in the world of AI. We're exploring one of the most powerful, widely used machine learning algorithms out there, the random forest. We're going to trace its fascinating journey, how it transforms a basic, single decision-making tool into this massive, highly accurate machine learning symphony. Now, just imagine for a second you have to make a really critical medical decision. Would you rather rely on the opinion of just one single doctor, or would you want to ask 100 experienced doctors and go with their majority consensus? Right? It's kind of a no-brainer. Well, that exact logic is the beating heart of the random forest algorithm. And by the time we wrap up this explainer, you'll see exactly how it uses this wisdom of the crowd to predict everything from financial fraud to tomorrow's weather. So here's our quick roadmap for today. We'll kick things off with supervised learning basics, look at the decision tree dilemma, explore the power of ensemble learning, peek inside the random forest, tackle combating AI bias, and finish up with some really cool real-world applications. Let's get to it. Section 1. Supervised Learning Basics. Let's lay down our foundation. Okay, so in supervised learning, models basically use historical data to learn the exact mapping from specific inputs to desired outputs. It's kind of like a teacher using flashcards with the correct answers on the back. The model sees the data, flips the card, sees the correct answer, and eventually learns to spot that pattern on its own. Now, within this field, we generally tackle two main tasks. First up is classification, where we're trying to predict a fixed set of categorical outcomes. Think about your email inbox. The algorithm is literally just classifying incoming messages as spam or not spam. The second task is regression, where we're predicting continuous numerical values. So if you're trying to forecast the exact price of a used car based on its mileage and age, you're dealing with a regression problem. And the reason Random Forest is such a superstar is because it handles both of these tasks flawlessly. Moving on to Section 2, the decision tree dilemma. Let's talk about where a single tree falls short. Notice how the model breaks down the data right here. A decision tree makes its predictions by asking a series of localized, really simple questions. If you look at this, at each step, the tree splits the data based on a specific criteria, something like, hey, is variable x greater than 0.51? It keeps dividing the feature space into smaller, more similar regions until it reaches a final prediction at the very bottom leaf nodes. Honestly, it's incredibly transparent and mirrors how we humans make decisions beautifully. But, and this is a huge but, here is the fatal flaw of a single decision tree. If you let a tree grow too deep, it suffers from what data scientists call high variance. It basically gets completely bogged down in the weeds. Instead of learning the general underlying pattern of the data, it literally memorizes the noise and the random fluctuations in the specific training set it was given. We call this overfitting. So an overfitted tree might look like a genius in training, but it's going to perform terribly when you show it brand new unseen test data. Which, naturally, brings us to a really critical question. How on earth do we fix a tree that overthinks? If a single complex model is too sensitive and just memorizes quirks, how are we supposed to get reliable predictions? That takes us to Section 3, the power of ensemble learning. This is where we harness the wisdom of the crowd. So if one tree is flawed, overthinks everything, and has high variance, the answer is simple: consult a whole forest. The foundational technique we use to build this crowd is called bagging, which is short for bootstrap aggregation. Instead of training one stressed-out tree on all of our data, we generate multiple, slightly different random samples from our training data. Then we train a separate decision tree on each of these unique samples. Because each model is learning from a slightly different perspective, it perfectly stabilizes the final predictions and drastically reduces that pesky variance we were just talking about. And that leads us to a brilliant solution: the majority vote principle. Remember our analogy of asking 100 experienced doctors for a diagnosis? Well, if we take their majority vote for a classification problem, or just average their estimates for a regression problem, the final answer is way more reliable than trusting one single doctor who might just be having a really bad day. Bagging gives us that rock-solid, stable consensus. All right, Section 4, inside the random forest. Let's pop the hood and see how this actually works. Let's walk step by step through how a random forest is physically constructed. First up, we have bootstrap sampling, where we pull those random subsets of our data. But step 2 is the real secret sauce: random feature selection. When building the trees in step 3, the algorithm doesn't even look at all the available variables to make a split. Nope, it only looks at a random subset of features. Finally, in step 4, it aggregates all those individual tree predictions through a majority vote or an average. Now, we really need to highlight why step 2 matters so much. Think about it. If every single tree looks at the exact same data features, they might all just end up making the exact same mistakes, or heavily relying on the same dominant variable. By forcing each tree to only consider a random subset of predictors at every single split, Random Forest actively decorrelates the trees. It literally forces them to be diverse. And having a diverse crowd making a joint decision, that's the ultimate secret behind this algorithm's incredibly high accuracy.
Section 5, combating bias and ethics, because we definitely need to talk about fairness.
We have to pivot for a second to a pretty serious complication. Machine learning models are not inherently objective. Just notice the stark contrast here between the goals of ethical AI on the left, fairness, transparency, accountability, and the harsh reality of AI bias on the right. Complex ensemble models like Random Forest often act as a black box, which makes it really hard to explain exactly why a specific decision was made. If the historical data used to train the forest contains biases, say historical discrimination in hiring or loan approvals, the algorithm isn't going to fix it. It will simply replicate and sometimes even amplify that bias. For instance, studies have shown systems completely misclassifying minority demographics simply because the training data just wasn't diverse enough to begin with. But hey, it's not all doom and gloom. We aren't powerless against this. We can actively embed fairness throughout the entire machine learning lifecycle. We can mitigate bias during data collection through really careful pre-processing and data augmentation. We can adjust the algorithms themselves, and we can conduct post-processing bias audits to make absolutely sure the final outputs are fair. Plus, explainable AI techniques are being developed right now to help us peek inside that black box and hold these models accountable. Finally, Section 6, Real-World Applications. Let's look at how this actually impacts our daily lives. Because Random Forest is so exceptionally accurate, so robust against noisy data, and totally capable of handling complex interactions, it is heavily trusted across some seriously critical industries. In finance, it's analyzing transaction patterns to detect credit card fraud literally in real time. It's out there predicting stock market volatility based on historical trends. It's filtering out spam emails by recognizing subtle indicators of unauthorized senders. And meteorologists even use it for weather forecasting, predicting future conditions based on just massive, complex data sets of past weather patterns. It's everywhere. Which brings us to our final thought for today. We've seen how Random Forest takes a simple, overly sensitive decision tree and completely transforms it into a highly accurate, variance-reducing powerhouse just by using the wisdom of the crowd. But as these AI models take on increasingly complex and life-altering decisions in our society, how will we ensure that this algorithmic crowd remains not just technically accurate, but socially fair and transparent? Balancing those two things is without a doubt the next great frontier in machine learning. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep asking those great questions, and I'll see you next time.